What we're talking about is the ability to, you know what, go buy a house cash that you want and not even be worried about it, and then be able to change jobs if you need to, start a company. And so tell me why becoming an accredited investor and investing in PEs or VC firms, why is that different than go putting something into every month into an index fund?
You know what? It's I remember when I was young, I was getting the same advice. So after Harvard, I also ended up at IBM. And I remember someone giving me the advice about investing and the power of compounding interest. Oh, if you compound in for every month, you're gonna have $1 million. And I'm like, yeah, in 20 years, but is that gonna be life changing? No. You compound interest at, 4, 6% a year, like who cares? Like, that's not gonna change the trajectory. Like, you retire, you'll live off that for 10 years. That's it. There's no multi-generational wealth. And even when like with at the end of our startup, we had a little bit of money. We were like, well, what are we gonna do? And the amount of people that I now talk to that are like I talked to another Latino out of San Francisco, and he said, Adrian, I'm interested in talking to you about your fund, but I also want to angel invest, and I also want to do real estate, and I want to do the stock market. And I was like, do it all, do all of it, not just one or the other. Don't be like conservative. Do all of it. Continue to angel invest. Continue to invest in private equity. Continue to invest in real estate. I tell people that like I had an entrepreneur who exited his company, and it was amazing how he was just like frantic about like what do I do? And I was like, here's what you have to do. And this is what the advice I tell everyone. It's you need to have three buckets. You need to have your cash bucket so that you can do whatever you do and live off that and go on vacation and have a great time and enjoy it, because you also have to pay for yourself. Like you have to, you know, like enjoy just your life and be happy. Then you have to have your retirement bucket. Your 30 years you want to invest in ETFs or the stock market. That's a 30-year down the line. Is it going to be life changing? No. Then you have to invest in your risk bucket, which is private equity, which is venture, which is, angel investing, because yes, that's risky, but the opportunity for returns are much greater than any of those. Much greater than the cash that's sitting there getting, 1/4% interest, much greater than, what you may get playing the stock market or mutual funds or ETFs. It's about how do you take, and this is what's very unique about our community because it goes back to that fiscally conservative. you know if I like my parents like had a money market account. That's how I grew up. Money market account that had like maybe 1% interest, and CDs. That was the riskiest thing that my mom would ever like invest in, and that was it. No stocks, no, nothing, no retirement, no 401k. And to go from there of how we grew up, where that's success, is you bought your car in cash or you had a down payment for your house, to saying, I'm going to take 5 to 25 to 50 grand and I'm going to put it to something. It's in order, we have to get ourselves past this idea of this is too risky. We can't do this, to start participating.